Hey girl, hey. So I'm gonna make this video really quick, and the purpose of this video is to support anybody that is going through their grieving season. So I lost my dad when I was 23, I think it was. No, I lost my mom when I was 23, and I lost my dad a year and a half afterwards. It was a crazy time in my life, and believe it or not, I don't remember all of it, but these are the things that really helped me get through that really difficult time. So first, it's okay, right? It is okay. You are not going to be the same person that you were before your parents died, and you're not going to be the same person a year or two or three from now. So be intentional about that. Know that this will pass, and one day it'll all just be a memory. Whether it's your parents, your close loved ones, etc., you might have a lot of feelings that you never got to reconcile. Perhaps you all were fighting, you didn't get to have a conversation with them, you didn't feel like, you have full closure. I recommend journaling. Over the years, I was intentional about journaling, like writing down my thoughts, writing down my feelings, and it's really helped. So as much as possible, think about ways that you can get your thoughts out of your head and down on paper. I promise it's a game changer. And then I know it's going to be difficult, but really see how you can lean into some of those friendships, some of those people that are there to support you regardless of how you act or how you behave. I mean, when you've lost somebody and you're really feeling it, it's tough. Like, you sometimes might not feel like your best self, and that's okay. And so first recognize that, hey, okay, I'm not my best self. And then decide, how can I reasonably get myself out of this rut so that I can still be productive and happy and healthy. It's all about being healthy. A lot of times when people lose people, they feel like they have to find unhealthy things. And I think that's the most important thing not to do. You don't want to find unhealthy things to pour yourself into. And so one of the most impactful things that helped me really just feel like I had hope was memorializing my mom by starting a business. So I started a business called Velvet Wax and Beauty, which is a full body waxing and hair removal brand. And it was difficult when I started it. I didn't really know what I was doing. It was scary. But I started it because I knew that I wanted another form of income. I wanted a way to just build something outside of myself. And I felt like, wow, I need to put all of this energy into something. And then I grew up in a beauty salon. So frankly, doing beauty services was all I do. And so now it's been 2013, almost 12 years since my mom passed away. And I've had that business since 2014. The beauty of it is it helped me grow through the transition, right? So when someone really close to you first passes away, you don't really know what's going on. You're kind of on autopilot, or at least this is my experience. I was on autopilot. I didn't really know what was going on. I dove headfirst into taking care of the arrangements, and I kind of took on this sister mom role, even though my sisters were relatively grown, they were in college. I was taking on this role of just feeling like I had to take care of everybody, right? You have to just give yourself some grace in that season. But what really, really helped me was building a business, building something outside of myself to give me hope to focus on something else. So whether that is, a hobby or a sport or a business, I think doing something outside of yourself is super dope. And it's a great way for you to feel proud of yourself. One thing they talked about in church recently that I recognize might not be easy for everybody is reconciling the relationship. Now, I was blessed that I had an amazing relationship with my mom and dad. And even there were times in our relationship that it wasn't the best, but we were able to reconcile any challenges that we had well before their passing, right? So even though both of their deaths was unexpected, I have a lot of peace with that. But there are some that truly struggle with reconciling the loss because of the relationship. Maybe they were horrible to you. Maybe they mistreated you, and you have not found peace in the way that it ended. That's tough. And so, regardless of your religion, I just want you to know that you're loved, and that the loss of one life does not constitute the value of yours. I want you to know that you are valuable beyond what they knew, saw, or taught. And whether or not that was absolutely wonderful or horrible, you are not theirs, right? You belong to a higher power, and in my life, that's God. And so what that means is you get to define who you are every single day. So I'm super intentional about affirmations. So like I wake up, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am resilient, I am happy, I am loved, I'm a wife even though I ain't got a ring yet. You know, I say all these things to myself because it is a action verb. It's a statement that I'm speaking over my life and over myself. And I encourage you to do that too. I mean, it's interesting because when I was in my 20s and people weren't really going through loss like that, I felt like I was alone. A lot of people really couldn't relate to what I was going through. I grew up kind of fast. Now, I was already mature because I'm the oldest daughter. You know, you kind of feel like you kind of already know everything when you're the oldest daughter. But anyway, like it was a thing where I don't feel like people really saw me. And now that I'm in my mid 30s, people are starting to experience what I went through in my early 20s. And it's rough because now I'm in this enjoyment phase and a lot of people are in the grieving phase. And so, you know, what I'll say to that is like truly, truly take time to define who you are outside of that person's presence in your life. You can gain power from their presence in your life, but don't define who you are from their presence in your life, because then when they're no longer with us, it's going to be really difficult for you to discern who you are and why you are here, right? Because you want to be here for a specific reason outside of that person. And so lastly, I'll just say that grieving is a journey. There's very popular literature about how to grieve and how to go about grieving responsibly and how to honor yourself and your feelings. Now that we have ChatGPT, I mean, you can ask ChatGPT to help you with a grief plan based on who you are, what you like, what you need, what you do. For example, today I had a girl date. I invited someone over. She brought her dog. We spent time together and it was great. Sometimes you need to plan and be intentional about spending time with people that can support you and pour into you, because that also is a part of your journey. And so grieving, the journey of grieving, I'm not gonna lie, it's rough. It's annoying. It's annoying because everybody isn't gonna go down the same path as you, right? Like, there are people that won't ever have to experience loss in the way that you have. And that's when I really have to rely on my faith and recognize that, like, I'm built different. I am a different type of resilient. I'm a different type of strong, and I'm a different type of beautiful. Because when you persevere and you're resilient and you're able to overcome life-altering losses, you have to like challenge that. Like, life altering how? You gotta believe that God is gonna like alter your life for the better, right? Like, I think a lot of this is like into self-talk. If I'm gonna believe God for the worst, who said I can't believe him for the best, right? And that's kind of like a backwards way of thinking sometimes. Like people are like, okay, well, I just lost this person. I don't know how I'm going to go on. Wow, I get to go on with this spiritual, supernatural power of knowing that the worst is behind me. That now I can go after my dreams full throttle, because who they were in my life, especially if it was good, is cemented in the past. I take what I need from that experience and I use it as fuel to move forward. And every single day, you put one foot in front of the other and you're saying, I'm resilient, I'm capable, I'm a conqueror, I'm empowered. You do that every single day. And then eventually, it'll get easier and it'll get easier. And the best part about my journey now is when you begin to reap the blessings, the wonderful things that you always dreamt of, or your loved one dreamt of for you, but you never truly got to experience. For example, my mom always wanted a dream car. I bought my dream car 2 years ago. Always wanted to travel. Last month I went to Singapore, Turkey, Qatar, and Indonesia. Beautiful apartment, beautiful houses, a wonderful dating experiences, a body that I love, appreciate, and can move ably every single day. Really, really hone in on the blessings, the brightness that you have in your life. I shared my story because it's authentic and it's mine, but there are so many people that have, oh my gosh, like amazing blessings in spite of their losses. And so I'm pretty sure that you do too. And so regardless of where you are and who you've lost, know that there is an opportunity for you to thrive in this season. And sometimes thriving means holding closer to the people that are near you. And sometimes that means really, really understanding who's for you, right? The last thing I'll say is, for the people who've lost somebody and it's been years and you ended up losing friends because of how people did or did not show up in your life when you experienced that loss. It's a different type of way when you lose your everything. And you don't know until you know, right? So we have to give one another grace when we have certain expectations of people that are doing the best that they can or they didn't know. And the continuation of not taking action to support you, to love you, to encourage you is not negligence. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's the impact of guilt that compounds like interest over years. And so I'm speaking to someone specifically that I know in my head. Hopefully she sees this video one day. But like, I know that there are people in the world that have grudges against people because they weren't there for them when someone passed away and they felt like somebody should have been there. Sometimes it's okay to understand that people do the best that they can with the resources they have at the time. And when you know better, you do better. So anyway, my name is Monty Green. If you like this video, if you want to support my journey of weight loss, health, fitness, love, and life, like and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.